There is a TV program, actually it's the most successful Islamic TV program in the West, in the entire world. It's called The Deen Show. Anyone seen it before? Very good. I advise you, if you didn't see it before, go to the internet, The Deen, Deen, D-E-E-N show. Alright? I appeared a couple of times specifically about the issue of marriage. I appeared about 8 or 9 times. But specifically about the issue of marriage 2 times. Because of these 2 times, I get people calling me from Europe, calling me from Asia about marital advice. And I do a lot of counseling for married people and so on and so forth. My best advice for people before they marry and even after they marry, sometimes it's too late. The success of your marriage depends primarily on choosing the right partner to begin with, the right husband and the right wife. Do not buy a broken car and then tell me, which mechanic should I go to and keep fixing it night and day. No. Buy a good car from the beginning and then you don't have to worry about a mechanic or fixing problems or anything like that. So what is the advice? To choose a good husband or a good wife. From Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave the advice about choosing a wife, but it's exactly the same. It's exactly applicable to men. He said, تنكح المرأة لأربع. لمالها, لحسبها, لجمالها, أو دينها. فاظفر بذات الدين تربت يدك. A woman is pursued for marriage either for her beauty, for her money, for the social status of her family, or for her deen. And deen in the language of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is her manners. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was asked, what is Islam is about? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent you to mankind? He said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. I was only sent but to complete the most noble of manners. Our deen is manners. How you deal with everyone around you based on the belief and the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your heart. So let's see what Prophet Muhammad is talking about. Any girl can be born so beautiful or not so beautiful. She has absolutely no control over that. She can be born to a lot of money and she can be born dirt poor. She can be born to a very influential, high social status family or not. She has absolutely no control of that. What is she actually in absolute control of? Her manners and her deen. And that's what you should pursue in a wife. The same thing, some girls look at, guys, who is your model husband? And then you say, oh, he should be funny, handsome, well-to-do, has money, and subhanAllah, dresses not nice, and all these things. I assure you, as a married man, no matter how beautiful the wife is, or the husband is, after 2 weeks of marriage, all that is gone because you're used to it. Night and day, you're eating together, you're seeing each other, subhanAllah. What matters is their character. How good of a person he is, how forgiving he is, how tolerant he is, how trustworthy he is. SubhanAllah, that's what matters. That's why, SubhanAllah, I get people, the girl will die if she marries that guy, and this girl, SubhanAllah, after 2 weeks, and when you see, SubhanAllah, there's no character. And like the sister had said, I was interviewed by British TV one time, and the guy asked me this question. Some people ask us, Islam, there's no dating in Islam. Why? Isn't it better that they date and know each other, so if they don't like each other or there's something wrong or a conflict of personalities, then before we get into the marriage, then we saved ourselves that divorce? I told him it's absolutely the opposite. Let's say they dated and dated is haram and they decided to get married. What is the guarantee that the marriage will continue? People grow. I was married when I was 22 and so was my wife. But subhanAllah, I am a totally different person than when I was at the age of 22. Another 20 years from now, I'm going to be maybe a totally different person from where I am now. How is it possible that we are guaranteed that the way I'm going to change, she's going to change in exactly the same way where that change would also be compatible to that change? The only guarantee that this marriage would be successful and you'd be having a happy life with a good spouse, husband or wife, is that if both of you adhere to the same rules. Meaning that if you are in Canada and I am in Mexico, but we have the same GPS, No matter how different the traffic is or the cars are or the circumstances, we're going to wind up at exactly the same location. Why? Because we use the same reference, we use the same GPS. If you adhere to the character and the manners of Islam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mandated, and He writes an obligation as a wife and the same thing with the husband, you will never have a problem. Because at any conflict, both of you, as any good Muslim would go, I'll go to whatever Prophet Muhammad sallallahu and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had said, and I adhere to that, and that is a Muslim. كَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُم. And this is for all Muslims. By Allah, they will not be called believers till they use you, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned said, to judge amongst what they are arguing about. That is the best way to do. So we don't date, so people do not take advantage of you and talk to you and maybe stir up your emotions, and then subhanallah they abandon you and go away. So you are protected. Yes, sir.
Wouldn't the khutubah be like that?
No, khutubah is courting, and courting is with the supervision of the family, within the context of a family. The person is not alone with you in one room, because in the name of the khutbah, you get to know each other with the understanding that there is a marriage to happen, unless there's something crucial or out of the norm happens. Then we are on our way of a marriage. But again, you are protected within a family. He would not be able to say, you know what, I took her alone and we went outside and did this, this, and that. That'll never happen. So, and the family, and this is also so important. People talk about families, you know what, my parents like this guy, but I don't like that guy. Use the parents. The parents are the only, and I say this advice to everyone, the parents are there's only two people on the face of the planet that want the best for you, and they're willing to do whatever they can for you, and they want absolutely nothing from you. There's no other people like that. I had 1 billion friends growing up. Wallahi, I probably have 2 of them left that I stay in touch with them. Some of them I even discovered that sometimes 10 years pass without even thinking about it. At the time, they were my friends, I cannot live without them. But at the end, it's your family and it's your parents. So your parents, subhanAllah, have this knowledge and has this love for you and have this tremendous experience and years upon years. They know what's better for you. So when you have the parents to be the filter and mechanism to tell you, this is better for you, that you trust in that. And when you look at the person, yes, as I said, we want to look for the spouse who has the manners and he adheres to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's a good Muslim, but there's nothing wrong that he's handsome too, or she's good looking too, or he comes from money and she comes from money. There's nothing wrong with that. But the core fundamental thing is the manners, because that's what lasts. And as I said before, girls who put makeup to attract the guy, you're going to attract the flies that would look at you and then turn and look for the other girl with a better makeup, and so on and so forth. And you just bring heartache and divorce and agony to yourself. Inshallah.